The offensive rookie of the year race is heating up right now. It's between Bo Nix and Jayden Daniels. I feel like definitely a lot of people didn't foresee Bo Nix to really be in the mix around this time of the year. Everyone expected Caleb to really run away with this award, but sometimes things happen, life happens, and granted, Caleb did look a lot better with his new offensive coordinator versus the Packers. A lot more rhythm, a lot more accuracy. I love that. I love that little sequence when the Bears were 3 yards short from getting a first down on third down, and Caleb was essentially arguing with Matt Eberflus, and he got his way, stayed out there, and made a play to get the first down. Man, a lot of people are kind of over-exaggerating with Caleb right now, of him being a bust and everything. Like, bro, come on, man. It's the NFL. It's his rookie year. Everyone relax. I know he's been erratic, but come on, man. This dude was the number one draft pick for a reason. This dude was the man on USC for a reason. Go back and watch the tape. I know college to NFL, tomatoes and potatoes. I get that, but Caleb hasn't had the best coaching, and coaching is everything. The greatest head coach of all time, Bill Belichick, has this famous quote of no matter what level of football you're playing, no player can overcome bad coaching. And we're seeing it firsthand with Caleb this year. And I know he has a lot of weapons on paper, but if you don't have a good scheme, if you're calling bad plays, if your confidence is low, if you don't trust your coach, if you don't trust your boss, it's hard to be successful. It's hard to really put it all together. I'm really curious to see what Caleb has going on for the rest of the year. I'm curious to see if he could turn it around. I feel like he will look better, and that's all Bears fans could really hope for going forward with Caleb, and run it back next year with a new head coach, hopefully just a better offensive-minded guy. That's enough talk of Caleb Williams. Unfortunately, he's not really in the offensive rookie of the year race right now. Back to Jayden Daniels and Bo Nix. Jayden was pretty much the MVP or top 5 in MVP favorites for the first solid chunk of the year. Then the last couple of games, you play a couple of good teams, Steelers, Eagles. He's kind of come back down to earth a little bit. Still making plays, still doesn't look like a rookie QB, but not as electric as he's been compared to the start of the year. I'm sure he'll turn it around for sure, but that's what happens. He's a rookie QB. That's what happens when you play really good NFL teams. The Eagles' defense is pretty legit this year. Vic Fangio really turned those boys around in a hurry. So yeah, and then at the same side of that with Bo Nix, started off really slow, but the last 3-4 games on an absolute heater, especially with that Atlanta game a day ago. That really was the game that really pushed him to being in competition with Jayden. And even the Chiefs game, man, he played pretty well too. So it's definitely going to be a fun race to look at for the remainder of the year. You let me know who you think is going to win it. Jayden Daniels, Bo Nix, or maybe someone else will emerge. I don't know. But if I had to guess, I just think Jayden Daniels will still probably win it unless he gets hurt or unless Bo Nix takes the Broncos to the playoffs and the Commanders miss out. Just because I feel like Jayden Daniels has really had almost had like a culture impact around the league, but we'll see what happens. So right now, Bo Nix's stats for the 2025 year are 2,275 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, and 6 picks, with a completion percentage of 65.5%. Jayden Daniels has 2,338 yards with 10 touchdowns and 3 picks, with 68.7 completion percentage. So not gonna lie, man, they're basically identical stats. Obviously, Jayden has a few less picks. That's important, but pretty identical stats for the most part. So I really want to break down the Commanders and the Broncos' schedule to really try to make an accurate, educated guess on who could win it. So let's get into it. So the Commanders played against the Eagles on a Thursday night football game a week ago. So really, they almost get like half a bye week to prepare for the Cowboys at home. Cowboys have one of the worst defenses in the league currently right now. And I totally expect Jayden Daniels to completely tear it up and look really good. After that, they're at home against Tennessee. Then they officially have their bye week. Following their bye week, they're at New Orleans. And in there, man, that's 3 games to really put on a show against 3 not really great teams. I know the Saints are kind of playing well with Rizzy right now, and maybe that'll be kind of like a weird hostile-ish environment. I don't know, but 3 games to potentially look really, really well, and just 3 good spots. After that, at home against the Eagles versus the Falcons, and then they finish off the year in Dallas. So out of all the games remaining left on the Commanders' schedule, you really only have the Eagles to worry about. And I feel like Jayden will play a lot better against the Eagles the second time around because, one, they already played them, they lost to them, a lot didn't work, so you could kind of take the information from that game and apply it to the next game. And Cliff Kingsbury will definitely utilize all the information that he learned from that short week road game, and I totally expect them to be better. And yeah, the fact that it's not going to be a short week on the road and instead it's a regular start time at home is definitely going to be huge as well. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders straight up won that game, but we'll see. And then obviously the Falcons aren't really anything special, especially defensively. Terrible pass rushers, absolutely have no pass rush, and totally expect Jayden to tear them up. And then the season finale at Dallas. So pretty light schedule for Jayden to put on a show. Now for the Denver Broncos, they're at Las Vegas this week. That's a good spot. Versus Cleveland at home. Then they have their bye. After their bye, home game against the Colts. So next 3 games, pretty good spot for Bo Nix as well. At Las Vegas, obviously not the best team right now. Home against Cleveland. I just think that'll be a prime time spot for Bo Nix to look really well. Monday Night Football too, so who knows, maybe that might give him the edge just because you have that national primetime spotlight. And then bye week, home versus the Colts. Colts defense isn't great. So you really have potential to really almost take the lead here. If Bo Nix has a crazy good game against Cleveland, who knows? Maybe he could take the lead in the Offensive Rookie of the Year race. But after the home game versus the Colts, they're at LA Chargers. Should be a tough game. First time they played, Broncos did not look great. They came on kind of late, but Chargers took care of them. And the Chargers have, I'd say, a pretty good defense, in my opinion. So we'll see what Bo can do there. Then the final 2 games of the year at Cincinnati, home versus the Chiefs. Chiefs have a pretty good defense. Bengals, obviously not that great. That's why Joe Burrow is really, really a sad boy right now, which he should be having a phenomenal year, yet his team only has 4 wins to show for. Just absolutely madness what's going on with Joe Burrow and the Bengals right now, but that's a whole other video. So yeah, man, just based on the remainder of each team's schedule, I'd say the Broncos slightly have a harder schedule with the Chargers and the Chiefs defenses compared to Jayden Daniels only having to deal with the Eagles defense. But who knows, man? Maybe Bo can take over if he does amazing on that Monday Night Football game against the Browns. We'll have to find out. If I had to make a prediction, I think it's going to be Jayden to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. But it's fun that Bo Nix is tearing it up and coming on late. I'm a Broncos fan, and it almost doesn't feel real. It's been 8 years of just complete misery since winning that Super Bowl. So I don't even know. It feels like I'm sleepwalking right now. It just feels so long. It feels like I've been in the desert just trying to find water for the past 10 years of my life, and I finally found a pond, and I don't know if I'm hallucinating or not, but Bo Nix is looking real legit. Sean Payton is the man, and, you know, just really blessed. Just really blessed. And I'm sure Commanders fans feel the exact same way. In fact, I know they feel the same way. So Really happy for both teams, really happy for both QBs, and should be a fun race to see, man. Let me know who you think is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And if you made this far, please subscribe. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
You don't have to play with desperation. You got it. Now what you've done by scoring, you've made the other team have to come out and play and take some chances.
Brown's got a chance to return this one. Able to move past the 20 and brought down at the 23. Handing the ball off hasn't been something that's worked for either one of these teams today, Phil.
Well, what you have to show on the offensive side when you want to run the football, you got to show some determination. And the guys on the offensive side just get tougher and make it work.
Plenty of defensive backs out on the field for this one. The Steelers take it from the 23. Brown's got it.